Famous U.S. dramatist Neil Simon has died elderly 91 in his home New York town of complications of pneumonitis, representatives announced. Simon obtained world popularity in the 1960s for phase and display comedies consisting The Odd Pair and Barefooted in the Garden. In 1991 he won the Pulitzer Award for AMD in Lewes in Yonkers. Several say Sime's the largest success dramatist with Shakespeare, Barefooted celebrity Robert Redford one day told. Simon was a fruitful writer. Average at low one act a year for lot of his career, and his job turned on the hit musicals Sugary Mercy and There Game Our Chant. His woman, Elaine Joyce Simon, was at his deathbed in his daughters Ellen Simon and Nancy Simon, in New York Presbyterian Clinic, his representatives told. Melodic theater celebrity Elaine Paige and artist Joe Gad were amongst such tweeting tributes to the writer. Several of the biggest actors of the period starred in films of his acting, especially Walter Matthau and Nest Lemon as The Odd Pair, 1968. In the sitcom, Matthau played dirty, poker player playing sport reporter Oscar Madison dividing and flat in building proud TV news story author Felix Ungar, Lemon, as the two dealt in divorcing their wives. Fans pay homage to The Odd Pair and his some plant on public print. Neil Simon wrote one of my favorite movies, The Out-of-Towners. He wrote Else Market Square Package, and The Odd Pair. These movies were my favorites as a tweener. I didn't identification in medium elderly whites human beings, but I identified in vitriol, mess and grumpy POVs. Break. His after plant unsuccessful to communicate in wide audiences in the identical way, but over one's love the Sunlight Boys and Market Square Package were altered for TV, for new generations. He was unborn on Autonomy Day 1927, in the Bronx, son of clothes seller Irving Simon and his woman Mamie. His Hebrew infancy in the town would back once again in his phase and display job. The mental deep of his plant may owe thing to his own morbid experiences previous in lifetime, especially the turbulent relation among his parents. Following written sitcom for wireless in the 1940s, he tested TV job up Lathe to Broadway and the movie. Amongst the honors he acquired was a Tony confer for Top Dramatist in 1965 for The Odd Pair. While I was a child, I climbed up on a rock bench to look an outside cinema of Charlie Chaplin, Simon withdrawn for Lifetime Ammunition Depot. I left so difficult I bring down away, cut my chief outdoor and was undertaken to the physician, hemorrhage and amusing. My concept of the final accomplishment in a sitcom is to do a entire auditorium drop on the story, wriggling and amusing so difficult how several of them undergo of